The rise of Zahhak, the beginning of darkness. In the days when Jamshid, the glorious king, ruled the world with wisdom and light, he slowly let pride take root in his heart. He called himself equal to the gods. The people, once loyal and loving, began to turn away. His golden throne trembled, and the crown of divine knowledge dimmed beneath the weight of arrogance. And in that moment of decline, from the land of Arabia, a young prince arose. Zahhak, handsome, brave, but naive. His father, Mythhical, was a just and kind king. Each day, he would dig a well with his own hands, draw water from the earth, and share bread among his people. He ruled with humility, not with force. But one day, deception knocked at Zahhak's door. Disguised in the robes of wisdom, Iblis, the master of lies, appeared with a gentle face and a honeyed tongue. He whispered to Zahhak, "Why live in the shadow of your aging father? A prince like you deserves a crown of his own." Temptation took root. That very night, when Mythhical went to the fields to pray, the well he had dug turned into his grave. Zahhak, guided by Iblis's whisper, killed his father, and without a stain on his hands, claimed the throne. But this was only the beginning. The descent into darkness had begun. This time, he came dressed as a royal chef. He cooked meals so delicious, so rich with flavor, that Zahhak, who had never tasted such wonders, was enchanted. With every bite, his trust in the mysterious cook grew. And then, the offer. "My king," said the chef, "in return for my humble service, grant me just one wish." "Ask anything," Zahhak said. "Let me kiss your shoulders." Strange, but harmless, or so Zahhak thought. The moment Iblis's lips touched his skin, a horror was born. Two black serpents sprouted from Zahhak's shoulders, twisting, hissing, hungry. They could not be removed. No blade, no healer, no magic could rid him of them. Their hunger grew unbearable. And then, Iblis whispered the answer. "Feed them the brains of 2 young men, each day." And so began the reign of terror. Every sunrise, 2 innocent lives were taken. Every night, Zahhak fed his curse. And the land, once warm with light, now shivered beneath a sky of sorrow. But even in the darkest shadows, seeds of rebellion take root. The blacksmith's rebellion, Kaveh, and the banner of fire. For years, Zahhak ruled with blood and fear. Every home wept. Every mother feared her door would be next. But in the heart of the city lived a man with hands of iron and a soul of flame. Kaveh the blacksmith. He had 18 sons. 17 taken by Zahhak's serpents. Now, the soldiers came for his last one. But something in Kaveh snapped. He marched to the palace, through the crowd of terrified onlookers, and stood before the throne of the Serpent King. "Enough!" he roared. "My son is no feast for monsters. You call yourself a king? You are a butcher of the innocent." Zahhak, shaken but prideful, tried to calm him with promises and gold. But Kaveh refused. In fury, he tore down the royal document of loyalty and stormed out. At the gates, he raised his leather blacksmith's apron on a spear. That worn, soot-stained piece of cloth became a symbol of resistance. The people gathered. The legend began. They called it the Kaviani Banner, a flag of fire and defiance. With this banner in hand, Kaveh led the people into the mountains, to a hidden valley, where a boy, raised by nature and destined by fate, awaited the call of justice. Fereydun, the boy raised by mountains, far from the cities drowned in fear, beyond the reach of Zahhak's soldiers, in the heart of the wild. A child was born, Fereydun, son of the noble Abdon and the brave Frantic. But danger knew his name. So his mother fled to the mountains, and in a hidden meadow, she left her son in the care of a sacred being, Barmay, a white, celestial cow. She nursed him with divine milk. Nature itself raised him. The rivers taught him patience. The mountains gave him strength. And the stars whispered his destiny. Years passed, and Fereydun grew into a towering youth, bold, wise, and burning with purpose. Then, the moment came. One night, an old man arrived in the valley, his voice rough with ashen iron. It was Kaveh, carrying the banner of rebellion. He told the tale of Zahhak's tyranny, of sons stolen, of hope crushed. And in that moment, Fereydun knew it was time. He took the banner. He rallied the people. And with the fire of justice in his heart, Fereydun descended from the mountains. Not as a boy, but as the storm Zahhak could not escape. The fall of Zahhak, chains over the mountain king. Fereydun marched with the fury of 1,000 storms. At his side, the oppressed. Behind him, the hopes of a broken nation. And above him, the Kaviani banner, fluttering like a flame against the darkness. They stormed Zahhak's palace, but the Serpent King had vanished. Cowardice hid him in the farthest corners of the land. But destiny has a long memory. Fereydun tracked him through deserts, valleys, and haunted hills. Until finally, on the cold, jagged peaks of the Alborz Mountains, they met. Zahhak, in all his fearsome glory, with serpents writhing from his shoulders, faced a boy-turned-lion. They clashed, sword against fawn, courage against cruelty. And in the end, Fereydun struck him down. But he did not kill him. "Death is too easy," Fereydun said. Instead, he chained Zahhak to the side of Mount Damavand. Division of the world, and the tragedy of Iraj. With Zahhak defeated, the world breathed again. And Fereydun, now a king of wisdom and might, stood before his 3 sons, Salam, Tur, and the youngest, Iraj. He divided the world among them. To Salam, the west, Rome. To Tur, the east, Turan. And to Iraj, his heart, Iran, the center of all. But envy is a silent poison. Salam and Tur, older, prouder, grew bitter. "Why does the youngest get the heart of the world?" they whispered. They plotted. Letters full of venom. Threats disguised as brotherhood. Iraj, gentle and peace-loving, chose not to fight. He journeyed alone to meet his brothers, carrying only words of peace. But peace was not what they came for. In cold blood, they struck him down. They butchered their own brother, and sent his severed head back to Fereydun. A father's scream shook the heavens. The world mourned. The rivers ran dark, and the soil drank the blood of innocence. But from that blood, hope still bloomed. For Iraj had a daughter, and she bore a son, a boy named Manuchehr. Manuchehr, blood for blood. In the shadow of sorrow, a hero was born. Manuchehr, grandson of Iraj, raised in secret, trained in silence, a blade tempered by pain, sharpened by justice. When he came of age, he swore before the heavens, "By the blood of Iraj, I shall avenge my house." He gathered warriors, legends in the making, and with the Kaviani banner once more in the wind, he marched to war. The battle was not swift, but it was just. Salam fell, Tur perished, and the soil of Iran drank the blood of traitors. Fereydun, now old and broken, looked upon Manuchehr and saw his own soul reborn. With pride and peace, he placed the crown upon his grandson's head. Thus began the reign of Manuchehr, the first king of Iran from Iraj's pure line. Part 8. The Reign of Manuchehr, Order from Ashes. Manuchehr ruled with wisdom and strength. He forged peace where there was chaos. He lifted the land from the ashes of war. He appointed mighty lords, like Sam-Nariman, the forefather of heroes to come. Under his rule, Iran knew balance for a time. But even golden reigns cast long shadows. Part 9. The Rise and Fall of Nowzar. After Manuchehr's passing, his son Nowzar took the throne. But where the father ruled with humility, the son let pride take root. Greedy advisors, unfair taxes, justice turned to dust. And far in the east, a prince of Turan stirred. Afrasiab, the son of Pahang, Cunning, cruel, born of ice and war, he raised an army. The drums of war roared once more. Iran, unprepared and weary, faced its doom. Nowzar led a fractured army to battle, and fell beneath the blades of Iranians. The lion was slain, the kingdom shattered. The spark of hope, the rise of Zav. Darkness spread, but in the east, the great San Nariman still stood strong. With wisdom and might, he raised a new king, Zav Tahmasp, from the line of Iraj. Zav, though not a great warrior, was a just ruler. He signed peace with Fereydun, restored the heart of the land, and gave people a moment to breathe. But peace is fragile. Zav's reign, though calm, was but a pause in the storm to come. Part 11. The Last King of Myth, the Reign of Garshasp. When Zav passed, there were no strong heirs, no prince, no seasoned warrior, so the crown was offered to a sage, Garshasp, a distant descendant of Tamuras. He did not crave power, but he loved his land, and so he wore the crown. In his reign, the land rested. No great wars, no heroic feats, just silence before the thunder. For in the mountains of Sistan, a miracle stirred. A child with silver hair, abandoned by man, raised by a creature of legend. Simorgh, the Sky Mother. His name? Zal, son of Sam. And with his birth, the era of kings faded, and the age of heroes began.